Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Rustam, assistant professor at Government Degree College Haveliya. This short video is being recorded for BS students who are studying psycholinguistics. And psycholinguistics is a course taught in 6th semester in Abbottabad University of Science and Technology and Hazara University Mansehra. Maybe some other universities are also offering this course. Now code means here that it is the third year. BS students are in the third year now, and 6 means semester. So 6th semester is the course, and it is third year and course number 5. 3 is shows a year, 6 shows semester, and 5 means your course number. So psycholinguistics is a branch of linguistics which is usually known as macro linguistics. So language at a bigger picture. So what is the objective of this course? Why this course is taught? Sorry. The aim of the course is to develop in students an awareness and understanding of different variables that interact with and upon the teaching and learning of language. So the word learning is focused here. This will enable the students to develop the theoretical background of learning and teaching. So learning is actually known as change in behavior. Sometimes people also define it as a permanent change in behavior. So change in behavior is known as learning. Okay, but behavior can be of two type. Like there can be physical behavior, like let's say someone spits on the floor and you teach him or her not to spit on the floor. So and after your teaching or after your counseling, if the person changes the behavior, you can say that he or she has learned something. Learning has taken place. So this is a kind of physical tangible behavior, like you learn cricketing, you learn driving. Okay, all these are behaviors. But there is another behavior known as language. Language is known as verbal behavior. Okay, verbal behavior. So verbal behavior is known as language. Can we learn language through teaching or nurturing? The way we learn cricketing, driving. Okay, there are so many other skills which we learn when we spend some time. So can language be learned through practice, repetition? And is language kind of behaviors like other behaviors, or it's a special behavior? So there are many theories about learning. Okay, general theories about general learning. Okay, like Jean Piaget has given theories about learning, but we in this course will focus on theories related to language learning. Now another variable, another very important construct in here is there was a word variable. As let me again show you variable. So there are two other concepts like learning and acquisition. So there is a minor difference, learning and acquisition. So acquisition is a process of learning which is unconscious. You don't spend conscious effort. You learn something without knowing it. Now, sorry. Now how it happens? Like children learn languages in the in initial stages without knowing that they are learning a language. So their siblings, they talk with them, and the mother tongue is usually learned through acquisition, like without any conscious effort. The data is poured into their ears. Okay, language data and language input, and there may be some mechanism inside the brain or mind, and that triggers language onset, and they start speaking. So acquisition is unconscious process of learning something, and actual learning is a conscious process learning. So this is the minor difference. Dr. Stephen Krishnan also mentions it, that learning is a conscious process of acquisition, and acquisition is unconscious process. The learner doesn't know that he or she is learning something. Anyhow, we will talk about it later on. So learning is very important, particularly learning of languages. So psycholinguistics deals with learning of languages. How do we learn our first language L1, and how do we learn our second language or L3 or other languages. So there are minor differences between first language learning and second language learning. And usually whenever we talk about language learning, sorry, we take up English as a case study. Okay, like we say ESL, English as a second language. Okay, ESL, English as a second language, we take it up. Or sometime English, usually English is taken as a case study. Okay, so here too we will be in this course we will be talking about how do we learn language, particularly English language. So in this course the focus will be on, first of all, scope of psycholinguistics. Okay, because psycholinguistics actually, as you can see, psycho, psycho mean brain or mind. Mind is an abstract state, brain is some physical entity, physical thing. It has some weight, it has 10 billion neurons, and language is one part of the brain. Okay, but mind is kind of an abstract notion. So linguistics, language, so language in brain and language is in mind. Language in mind is actually psycholinguistics, and language in brain is neurolinguistics. Okay, the language disorders, etc. I'll talk about these in more videos. Just it's a preliminary video, and I'm trying to warm up the BA students towards the topic they are going to study. It's very interesting topic. Okay, now scope of linguistics, then the connection between psycholinguistics and neurolinguistics. Okay, so there is a very important connection between psycholinguistics and neurolinguistics. So physical properties of brain, like where language is actuated, how we learn language, how we speak language, how different tests are applied to brain. If someone experiences an accident, so and he or she loses speech faculty, so which part of the brain gets damaged? What do the brain surgeons do? So do they know which part of the brain deals with language activity? So all this is discussed in neurolinguistics, like speech disorders, etc. Psycholinguistics usually talks about theoretical aspect of language learning, like there are many theories about language learning, like as you can see here, behaviorism is one of the theory, mentalism is another theory, interactionism is another theory. So there are few other theories which talk about, and they are guesses, they are theories, because these people are linguists, they are not brain surgeons. They kind of hypothesize, there are hypotheses by them, like behaviorism talks about, there are many experts, some were biologists, like Pavlov talked about classical conditioning. Then Thorndike was there. Then B.F. Skinner talked about operant conditioning. So they talk about behavior, particularly, although their experiments were on different species of animals, but they extended their learning of animals, like rats and dogs, etc., to human beings. They said that language is a kind of verbal behavior, so this can be learned on the same line as we teach like apes and parrots and rats, etc. If those species, those creatures can learn behaviors, so even language learning can take place on the same lines. I'll talk about it soon. So mentalist is a kind of theory which says no, human beings are a kind of different species. humans are not the same as our other species or other creatures, and language is the only faculty given to human beings and other creatures like parrots, monkeys, and even bees and fish. So they can't even a lot of rigorous training may be given to them. Even they are trained, even they are taught language, they will never be able to produce language the way human beings produce. And they talk about some innate mechanism. They say that we have been programmed by Allah Almighty, and we have been given a language faculty known as language acquisition device. So this chip, language learning chip, has been given only to Homo sapiens, not to any other mammals. So human beings are the only articulate mammals. We are the people who can articulate words, articulate sentences, articulate sounds, sounds which make meaning. But as far as other species are concerned, they can't speak. So here a very great name that comes to mind is Noam Chomsky, mentalist. So innateness theory. Then interactionism theory is a very important theory. Inshallah, in this course we will be talking about different theories which tell us about how language is learned. So what is the role of sorry what is the role of memory in language learning? Okay, so memory, as we know that it relates to brain. So inside the brain we have memory pockets. Okay, so as language is in brain, and all language initiates from brain, so we have to study brain first, parts of brain, left hemisphere, right hemisphere, broca area, wernicke area. So how we receive language, how we produce language, how we listen, when a child starts understanding language, when a child is able to produce language. So brain plays very important part, and memory is one of the very important part of brain. Even a student of literature knows about it, that there is a fantasy and imagination. Our brain is a miracle. It consists of around 10 billion neurons, and it is not yet discovered. The brain is not fully discovered yet. There are miracles of brain. And inshallah we'll talk about brain and its parts, and what does memory do, what types of memory are there. So what is the notion of interlanguage? This is another variable, interlanguage. Like when you have already learned your mother tongue and now you are going to learn a second language, so the stage that is in between is known as interlanguage. Sorry, where systems of your mother tongue, they are impacting upon your second language learning. Okay, so there are two types of system. On the one hand you have your mother tongue, and on the other hand you have the target language or the second language, and there is a stage in between. Here you make or commit many errors. These are known as interlanguage errors. Okay, so whether these errors are being caused by your L1 or there is something else. So what are the views about interlanguage errors? So error will be analyzed, and then like there are many theories about errors. We will learn about these theories. Now there are individual learning factors. Let's say there are two students who are learning a foreign language or a second language, let's say English. Now keeping other variables constant, let's say we think they are physically okay, they are of the same age, they receive the equal input. Okay, they go to the same school, they learn from same teachers. Okay, despite keeping all other variables constant. Okay, still one learner learns fast and the other learner does not learn the way the first learner learns. Like you may have seen in classrooms that some students pick up very quickly and some do not pick up very quickly. And I'm generally talking about concepts related to language, like you are teaching active voice or passive voice, or you are teaching tenses, you are teaching direct and indirect speech, you are teaching, let's say, any other grammatical concepts, nouns, pronouns, etc. or you are teaching theories like criticism, drama, play, you are different genres of literature, or you are teaching linguistics. But in the classroom, you might, if you happen to be teacher, you might have seen that some learners pick up your things very fast, and some indicate or exhibit tardiness. So they are staggered learners. They take time in grasping your ideas. So why are these individual differences? These individual differences may be caused particularly whenever we are going to learn language. In case of language learning, age can affect. Okay, this is very important factors. As we grow old, if we want to learn languages can be learned very fast in initial stages, like when you are matriculate up to primary level, we can learn many languages. Our brain is very fertile. But as we grow old, and if someone wants to learn a language beyond 50 years, so will the learning rate be the same as was when you were young? No, there are differences, there are theories. So people say that with advanced language age, language learning ability diminishes, it reduces. So this is one of the theory. Now, affective and personality factors, like if you happen to be an extrovert, you mix with people, you go out partying, you go into social gatherings, so you will learn language fast as compared to the person who is introvert. Again, there are many personality types. Then cognitive styles of learning, we'll talk about it. Then motivation, there are people who are motivated, intrinsically motivated, okay, and people who are intrinsically motivated within themselves, motivated at birth, motivate god motivated. So they will learn languages quickly. Not only language, but every thing that takes, like even they will learn pottery. If they are let's say they are goldsmith, they are, let's say, they are architects, they are masons. So applied arts, I'm talking about, they will learn them quickly if they are have got motivation. Sometimes we have got extrinsic motivation. So extrinsic motivation, that let's say you want a job in a restaurant, and you want to the prerequisite is that you must know language, English language. So now you want this job terribly bad, and you want it, because you want a job and it is your utmost need. So this is your extrinsic motivation, and within 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you will be able to learn language. So what is the role of motivation? It's very important variable and very important construct in language learning. So this is also part of our course. And then learning strategies, people learn foreign languages using different techniques, different strategies, okay. We will discuss all this. So these very although course appears to be very short, but it's a very lengthy course. And there is a long list of books here, as you can see here. These are all available online. You can visit PDF Drive. It's a website. You can download our Z library. It's a very important website. But I have this book with me in printed form, Jan Hson, and the name of the book is the Articulate Mammal. The articulate mammal mean Homo sapiens are the human beings. And Introduction to Psycholinguistics. So this book I have already uploaded into our WhatsApp group in PDF form, and I'm going to get it photocopied, and you can get it during corona third wave, or you can visit college and you can get it from my office, or you can visit some bookshop and you can buy your own new edition. And if you can't afford original version, you can get a photocopied copy material. Now another book which is based upon this book is a very short course designed by Allama Iqbal Open University, that is taught in Diploma TEFL. So that has also been uploaded in the group. So we in this course, in this semester, spring 2021, we will I'll base my lectures on these two books. So first book is this one, Jean Aitchison, The Articulate Mammal, very interesting book. So she talks about brain, and she talks about some animals which were taught language. The lot of they are longitudinal case studies, like apes were taught language, and then fish, they were taught language, bees were taught language, but ultimately all efforts failed because the people who experimented on animals, and they wanted that they should articulate some sounds, their efforts met with failure, because these species, these animals did not have the basic structure inside. So they didn't have something inside, and so they failed to learn language. And human beings, children of humans, they were taught language, and they learned it because they did have some basic structure inside, known as language learning device. Okay, we can say pre-programming. So Homo sapiens are pre-programmed. So this is very interesting book, and inshallah we'll read it chapter wise and page wise, and when the course ends, hopefully we will have learned a lot. And now you are requested to download this book from WhatsApp group, and just leave through it. And also the other book that I just mentioned, Allama Iqbal Open University course on psycholinguistics. Hope this first video will act as a very good appetizer for this course, that you just has got an idea, you just have got an idea what type of course you are going to study. So very interesting course, psycholinguistics, and we'll do some mini projects on it as well during this semester, so that BA students may be introduced to research. Thank you very much. Now this is going to be uploaded onto YouTube. You can download it into your devices and smartphones, and listen to it again and again. There are many things which I have just talked about in this short video, and we are going to elaborate upon these concepts and variables. Thank you very much.